Hola raza, this is El Tex-Mex Pero. It's been a good minute. Haven't really posted anything because life's just been crazy this year, 2021. But we're gonna start again with more reviews, hopefully. And as long as I don't get carried away with life, I'll try to do it as much as I can. So we're gonna do some Tropa F in the house. The very first album that came out in 1990 under the CBS label. A little bit of backstory on that. Tropa F has been used to be as Los Hermanos Farias from the 70s, 80s, recorded with local labels until they ended up with El Zarape, Arcon, and until they landed with Top Hits, TH Rodman. They recorded a few albums here and there until they landed with Hacienda, Discos Haciendas, until they landed around 89 with CBS with Manny Guerra, and they decided to put this, their first album, as La Tropa F. It has 10 canciones, Los Farias, that's what they decided to name it. Has 10 songs, in which one of them is a cumbia, 2 of them are boleros, and 7 rancheras. And so, I mean, it's a very good one, very good selections that they've done. Quiero Besarte, which is playing right now. Sin Tu Cariño, good bolero to drink to. Valentín de la Sierra, one of the classics. Pedacito de mi vida, una cumbia pero bien buena, which was the same beat that they've copied over and they recycled over the years with Juan Sabor, Lágrimas, Arcoíris, Es Tu Culpa, Apenas Te Conozco, one of my favorites, A la Luz del Día, which later covered Pío Treviño, and Mil Noches, which was their biggest hit out of the album, one of my favorites as well. A good cover from I think Cornelio Reina sang it first. Olvídala, como una rancherita con keyboards. Back then they started kind of using keyboards a little bit, but not as much. Tienes Negro el Corazón, one of my favorites. We're gonna put that right now. But yeah, these were the guys. Ahí está, I don't know if you can see, but ahí anda el David Farias on the accordion, el Joe en bajo sexto, Jaime on bass before he ended up on the keyboards in around 92, 93. I think there's, I don't know which one's two. I don't know which one's Juan and which one's Danny, because on the credits ahí está Juan Farias on the drums and Danny Farias on keys, which he later became the manager of La Tropa F. Later being replaced by Jaime. But yeah, what can I say? I mean, this album is one of my favorites. One of my favorites from La Tropa F, being their first one. And their sound is very great, especially being a conjunto. I just love the drums. I always wonder what kind of drum module was Manny Guerra using during the recordings of him and CBS Records, which if you have, for example, the first album of Oscar G, Tropa F, what else, Jimmy Edwards, around that time period, 1990, you could tell that the drums, I don't know, there's just something about the drums that I really like. I know it's a Roland probably, but I know it's not an R5 or an R8. But the toms they do come from are probably like an R5. But nevertheless, man, I mean, what can I say? Aquí está la contraportada. Freaking badass right here. 1990. So, what can I say? The sound's very good, very kind of decent though in my but what can I say, that's when they first started going up with other CDs with Adelante, Right on Track, Otro Día, and Hermanos Hasta el Fin. So this was, what can I say, it's like a little foundation, and sadly not many people have this album. when it comes to getting this album, it is pretty hard to find. So this one costed me $30 on eBay, 30 euros en el eBay, just on vinyl. Getting them probably cost you $100, maybe $200, and that's if you get them at Del Bravo record shop, I believe. I don't know if they still have it, but last time I checked, it was like 125 and then 200. I'm like, holy freaking cow! I know they released it on cassette, which I actually do have a cassette version. Y no solo eso, pero también I know they had a CD version, but I think that one's more rare, because around that time period, CBS records were dropping vinyls, were dropping cassettes and CDs. That was when CD was slowly climbing up, and it was crazy that at that period, vinyl and cassettes and CDs were coexisting. So, but coming from Tejano music, it's a rarity, especially with con estos chingones, man. So my rating for this album, probably, I would say 8 out of 10. One of my favorite albums. Even though they've made way better productions con Manny Wea Latina, but the songs that really stuck out for me were Mil Noches, Apenas Te Conozco, y Tienes Negro el Corazón, one of my favorites. Those three songs to me are what stood out from the rest of the whole album. También Pedacito de Mi Vida, un poquito de cumbia that I like from los La Tropa F. But nevertheless, 8 out of 10. And pues ahí está. Here's my review on Los Farias de La Tropa F on CBS Records. Hope you guys have a good one. Sobres.